I'm trying to slow down and understand for a second. You guys don't think we should be going after any bad guys
what are you talking
in the
about?
world? No, weren't we just diving into that about not being world police and not trying to chase after bad guys because we'd make more of them as a result? I don't want to misquote.
We should not be going into countries and removing
despots or dictators or communists.
No.
And you call yourself an anti-communist?
But
yes,
what if
you should stop because I don't think you're an anti-communist.
No,
if you don't, I'm an anti-communist.
You do not. Liberals do not go and export war. Liberalism does not. It does not make for does not justify a country exporting war.
You're neutral on communism. I'm anti-communist, and I see no because
out of your mind.
No, this is not anti-communism as I understand it in any sense of the word.
Because communism is a philosophy first,
and they're communist governments.
Phil, not an argument. You're out of your mind. Like articulate.
Oh, okay. So the idea that I'm not anti-communist,
you don't support overthrowing and fighting wars against
I spend most of my time learning about the philosophies that inform communists so I can articulate in a way that people can understand the philosophies that are affecting our country here. We are in no position to go overseas and fight communists because right now we have a cultural revolution going on in our country. If you are not on the same page about the cultural revolution going on in our country, you can go and export all the war you want, but you're going to fall apart in your own country. The United States will fall from the inside if we make any effort to go to someone else's country and remove their despotic leader because he's a strong man that has used communist rhetoric to get into power.
So you're anti-communist domestically, internationally, not anti-communist.
The biggest threat to liberalism in the world is the United States falling to communism. Currently, we are fighting to prevent the United States from having a complete cultural revolution, which turns us into essentially China with American characteristics.
And being for or against intervention does not mean you are for or against communism.
No, because wait, slow down. Actually, because as countries interact with one another, and there are communist countries that have existed, and I think we should work against them because they continue to spread the values that you continue to say that you're
That's not invading.
Against. Also, communism also oppresses the people within their countries. We should be worried about the millions oppressed in other. Yeah,
I don't like Antifa far leftists. I do not actively go out and seek out their events to try and stop them from holding them. That does not mean that I'm supporting Antifa.
It would make you not I wouldn't say anti-communist.
Well, that's a ridiculous argument.
No, Phil calls himself constantly an anti.
Yes, because he clearly is in opposition to communism. But just because he has a different stance on war than you doesn't mean he now supports communism.
I guess let's clarify. I'm militaristically anti-communist.
Absolutely.
And you are.
I'm not an interventionist. I'm a libertarian. Okay. I'm not a libertarian. I'm libertarianish. But anyways, I'm not. I don't,
Shout out to our friend. Was it George?
Yeah.
No, so like communists in Cuba, communists in Venezuela, should we work towards anything towards helping the people in those countries, or
we should do what we did in the Cold War, which is export.
That's war, baby.
Listen, you need to stop cutting me off. But we should export liberal ideas and liberal philosophy because it beats communist philosophy. It beats the idea that the world should be reshaped to make a communist world.